Bernie Madoff, the man who rattled Wall Street's financial world. What he built was the largest investment fraud in history. In December 2008, he was arrested, and his elaborate Ponzi scheme collapsed. Why was such a colossal fraud left unchecked for so many years? The official total damages amounted to approximately $65 billion, defrauding thousands of investors for over 2 decades. But, in fact, this failure stemmed from human psychology, which continues to repeat itself even today, and systemic structural causes. What exactly was the largest Ponzi scheme in history? In this video, we will unravel who trusted Madoff, why regulatory authorities failed to detect it, and what lessons we can learn for today. Now, let's delve into the full scope of its collapse. Bernie Madoff was a household name in the financial world. Born in 1938, he was a Jewish American from Queens, New York City. In 1960, with a mere $5,000 in capital, he founded his own brokerage firm, Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities. His company rapidly grew by offering innovative services for individual investors at the time, payment for order flow, and market making. Madoff was deeply involved in the establishment of the Nasdaq market, and even served as its chairman. He established a reputation as a reformer of Wall Street. To investors, he was truly the conscience of Wall Street, known for his solid track record and trustworthiness. Everyone yearned to entrust their investments with him. The wealthy, charities, celebrities, and even ordinary investors flocked to his secret hedge fund. Madoff consistently delivered high, stable returns of 10 to 12% annually, even during market downturns. This was exceptionally rare. Everyone wondered why only Madoff could generate such stable returns. However, he always remained tight-lipped, calling it a secret strategy. Madoff's method was a classic Ponzi scheme, a fraudulent operation using funds from new investors to pay returns to earlier ones, a constantly churning cycle. What he described as his secret strategy was a complex method combining options trading and hedging. However, this was all fictitious. Instead of genuinely managing investors' funds, he pooled them in his own bank account, sending investors fake transaction statements. Investors felt a sense of exclusivity about the limited and exclusive investment opportunities Madoff offered, further deepening their trust. Furthermore, his office was located in a premier Wall Street building, and the sight of prominent figures coming and going made the fraud difficult to detect. Madoff was also enthusiastic about charity and social contributions to build strong trust with clients. This solidified his image as a good person. Even during periods of market turmoil, such as financial crises, his consistent, stable returns made trust in Madoff unwavering. So far, Madoff's fraud had proceeded smoothly. However, eyes of suspicion from outside began to turn towards him. In the early 2000s, financial analyst Harry Markopolos questioned Madoff's unusually high returns and began an investigation. He determined that Madoff's investment strategy was mathematically impossible and sent multiple tip-offs to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, throughout the 2000s. However, the SEC, swayed by Madoff's prestige and complex methods, did not take Markopolos' allegations seriously. Their investigations remained superficial. Madoff had cultivated deep connections, even playing golf with SEC officials. This was also a significant factor in him being overlooked for so many years. Investors perceived Madoff's exclusivity and secrecy as further proof of trustworthiness. To doubt him was tantamount to denying their own special status. Doubting Madoff, a titan of the financial world, was almost a taboo within the upper-class communities they belonged to. But here, a pitfall no one noticed was opening up. The biggest reason Madoff couldn't be stopped was the absolute trust and authority he had built. Everyone believed him completely. The trap of groupthink was also profound. The psychology of so many successful people are investing, so it must be legitimate, was at play. Furthermore, for those who had already invested substantial amounts, accepting the fact that it was a fraud was synonymous with admitting their own misjudgment. This was the Concord effect. where the desire not to waste previous investments dulled their rational judgment. The regulatory authority, the SEC, also did not fully comprehend Madoff's complex financial products, resulting in their investigations remaining merely formal. Moreover, from his position as a former Nasdaq chairman, Madoff had influence within the SEC, and investigators too readily believed his words. In other words, Madoff's fraud was not merely a crime by an individual but the complex interplay of group psychology, organizational negligence, and blind faith in authority. The catalyst for the collapse was the 2008 Lehman shock. Financial markets fell into disarray, and redemption requests from investors surged. Madoff, operating a Ponzi scheme, couldn't pay dividends if new funds weren't coming in. He realized he could no longer maintain the system. On December 10, 2008, Madoff confessed to his sons. It was all one big lie. Shocked, they reported him to authorities the next day. And on December 11th, Bernard Madoff was arrested by the FBI at his home. He was handcuffed in a house adorned with Christmas decorations. This news spread across the world in an instant, plunging countless victims into despair. The number of lives ruined was endless. In 2009, he was sentenced to 150 years in prison, where he ended his life. The greatest financial fraudster in history finally closed his wicked curtain. The lesson learned from the Madoff incident is, first and foremost, the universal truth. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. One should always be wary of unusually high returns. Furthermore, it is essential not to blindly trust authority or reputation, but to always scrutinize information with your own eyes and mind. Independent thinking protects you from ruin. Additionally, the incident exposed a systemic vulnerability, that the oversight functions of regulatory authorities must not be undermined by specific authorities or political influence. What made people believe Madoff was human greed and blind faith? Regulatory authorities failed to detect it due to structural flaws and conflicts of interest. This incident presents a universal lesson relevant even today, that sweet-sounding promises always have a catch. We must not forget the importance of verifying information from multiple sources. The quality of decision-making will undoubtedly differ between those who know this failure and those who do not. With this lesson in mind, we must always make wise decisions. If you found this video informative, please subscribe and hit the like button. We introduce a new history of failure every day. Look forward to the next episode of Collapse Chronicles.
この失敗は歴史のほんの1ページ。世界にはまだ語られていない失敗が数多くあります。失敗の歴史をチャンネル登録して次の物語もぜひご覧ください。